Well, it's a beautiful still morning today. It's like there's not anything blowing, and I'm understanding on the forecast that tomorrow we're supposed to have like record-breaking winds. Oh, life can be changing, always changing, and also unexpected. Now, thank God we have some weather people that can help us maybe avoid things being totally unexpected happening to us, so we can be prepared. But I was thinking about, I'm looking over here at my new little calf that I told about earlier. This calf that, I've got a really loud bird. Oh, you're the cutest little bird. Okay. Distractions. Wow. Can you hear that? I don't know what he's doing. It's very unexpected. And that's what I want to talk about just for a second. The unexpected. I realized I was talking last week well, not last week, but a few days ago, Monday, when that little calf was born, that I don't know how it happened because we hadn't had a bull over here to breed the mother, but then I realized it must have been this little calf that I'd let somebody bring over, this little bull calf, and it I guess it was big enough, or I don't really know how that happened. It still seems miraculous that could happen. But I realized something, that this was, to me, I think the message that I was getting that morning, on a bad morning when I was asking God just to help me, and then all of a sudden, I have this little calf, and I'm thinking it's associated, but, and I feel like I really do feel like it's like a little miracle calf, but what dawned on me a couple days later, that this was more about saying God can do the unexpected. Even if something is possible, apparently it was possible for that young bull to breed, but what it was is definitely, it was unexpected that day. I walked outside. I'm on the phone with Mama. When I looked over there, and my cow is having a baby right here by the fence, which she doesn't usually do that. They go down the field, they go out in the woods, but she had this baby right here. And I don't think that was an accident, but it was something that was unexpected. And I think that God was saying to me, that's the way I'm taking this. Okay, you can take it how you want to. But I feel like a message in that to me is just expect the unexpected. That there's sometimes things just happen that we don't expect. I didn't pray for a calf. I wasn't praying for that. I wasn't like, oh, I need a calf. I was wishing I'd gotten my cows bred so I'd have calves, because I wasn't going to have any this year. And I can sell them, and they offset some of the cost of the mamas. But it was unexpected. And so I was sharing that with somebody this morning when I was talking. I'm saying how I believe that God lets us know that when you least expect it, there's things he can just do, and to remind us that he can do the unexpected. And so, but also then I was talking a little later about this, and I realized what I was doing is what I call breaking bread. It's just something in my mind, I've called it. It's when I have something that happens to me or something I learn. It could be a sermon at church. It could be a song I listen to. It might be an experience that I've experienced. Is that before I know it, and sometimes before the day's over or before the week's over, I'm going to be sharing that. It's like I got a loaf of bread. I got a piece of bread from the pastor, and I'm talking to somebody, and all of a sudden I'm breaking off a piece. I'm like, you know what? I'm talking to someone. I'm like, our pastor said this. I heard that message, or this happened, or I got this. I was just watching this TikTok video, and I heard this person say this, and I'm like, you know what? And I take what I'd received, and I break it off, and I give it to them. They didn't get the message. They didn't watch the video. They missed it. But I can say, you know what? This is how it came to me. I experienced this. And so I'm not just going to probably repeat what I heard, but I'm going to be telling my flavor in it. I'm going to be telling my experience, why I'm even saying it, why it's important. So I think you need to pay attention today. What are things that you're receiving? First of all, make sure you're receiving. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't drink from an empty cup. You can't pour from an empty vessel. We have to be filled. That's why Apostle Paul said, I pray in tongues, it edifies me. I do that. I do that more than any of you, he said. He goes, but I'm going to do that so I have something to give. So when I get in a room full of people, then I've got something I can say. I've already been over here in the spirit doing me and his thing. And I'm not going to go in here in the middle of a room and start to speak out in tongues with y'all unless there's an interpreter, but I got that so I can do this. because he said you pray that you can prophesy. And it means give an inspired word is what that means. That's not talking about just give some future. No, a prophecy there is an inspired word. So I want to give an inspired word. And so I might get it from my own personal testimony. Hopefully you're having testimonies, at least you're paying attention to it. If you're not having them, what's going on with your relationship with God? You should have a story to tell, a little story. And it don't have to be a big deal, but it's something. It could be, but it also can be just something you received. Something you received, you could go way back and say, my mama used to tell me this, or my grandma, or my old pastor. But hopefully it's fresh meat. It's fresh bread. It's manna. It's daily. Give us daily bread. And I go, you know what? I was in the Spirit, or I was doing this, or I was just watching this, and now I have something I can break off and give to somebody else. That is the power of breaking bread. That's the power of taking, freely receive, freely give. And when you do that, you're being a very productive. You're going to start reaping what you've sowed. I want to sow a lot of good bread. I want to sow a lot of good seed so that I can reap that back. Because then the more I have, the more I can give, and it's a beautiful cycle of life.